morning, everyone. Welcome to a brand new vlog. Starting this video out around the track that encircles Prospect Park. Getting a walk in before work. Feels good outside. I'm wearing these enormous headphones. I tried to buy earbuds. Listen, how do you guys keep earbuds in your ears? They don't stay in my ears. I can't be the only one. Like, yes, they are like the foam kind that like expand into it, but I was sitting using them on a call yesterday for work. I just bought them when I was like, oh, I'm gonna start walking around the track more outside. I should get something that's not these bulky headphones. I tried buying earbuds. They fall out even when I'm sitting still on a call. I don't understand. It's not just me, right? And we're back, showered, ready for the day. Today I'm wearing a top that I got from TJ Maxx a year ago, I think. And then these shorts, the Persephone shorts. You guys know I love this pattern so much. All right, let's get going on this day. Hello, I'm in the kitchen making my lunch. One of my favorites, I'm making like a souped up avocado toast essentially. I'll leave the recipe linked in the description box. It's based on a restaurant version that I've had before. It's called Bluestone Lane. It's like a cafe that has some extra stuff in it, and their avocado toast is really good, and apparently enough people think it's so good that they put their recipe online. Here is the final toast. It's got a tahini spread on it, feta, cherry tomatoes, sunflower seeds, avocado, lemon, lime, microgreens. Yeah, it's delicious. Tonight's dinner recipe is a new one. We're making barbacoa beef. It was a recommendation that I found on another YouTube channel, so I'm putting that together right now. Look delicious. That is in the oven. I'm starting that early because it takes 3 hours for it to cook in the oven, so I want to be able to eat at a reasonable time. All right, barbacoa beef. The recipe has onion, garlic, chipotles and adobo, clove, cumin, salt, pepper, oregano, bay leaves, garlic, onion, beef. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a kick. It's different for us.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Getting dressed. I can't decide what to wear. I definitely want to wear my new jeans. Sorry about the lighting. It's kind of dark in here. I still haven't hemmed them, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do a cropped length on them. That's kind of what my heart wants, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have this striped cropped button-up top that I got from TJ Maxx. It's a 7 for All Mankind top. And then I've currently paired it with my black corduroy Rose Cafe bustier. That's a pattern by Daria Pattern Making. It's a dress that I just turned into a top. I have it paired together, but this just seems, it's feeling like hot. And you know, summer is starting, so I'm wondering if maybe I'll take this off. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, here's the outfit without the bustier. What do we think? I kind of like the bustier with it, but it's a cropped shirt, so this is like perfect with these jeans, I feel. This is like more casual. I don't know, if you're looking for some inspo, basically I'm just doing this because I'm always looking for inspiration on how to pair like my handmade items with my ready-to-wear items, and then again with like more like the Rose Cafe, just like how I can kind of layer up the pieces. It feels nice to kind of like be able to identify style that feels more me right now. I was kind of struggling there for a while, and I just want to have some fun with my fashion, but also keep it classic because that's what I do. But I love these kind of mixtures between masculine and traditionally feminine looks together. I don't know, I love kind of pairing odd things together. So I don't know, I think I am gonna put the bustier back on, or at least I like it more with it on, but I love it. I just think it's such a fun layering piece. I've honestly never worn this without something on underneath it, maybe one time. I typically like to layer it on top of like button-up shirts or on top of other tops, basically as more of a layering styling garment. And it's very, very comfortable. So if you're on the fence, there's no boning in it or anything. It's just like a soft corset, essentially. Corset. I think it's really only called a bustier because it's got all of the seam lines in it. Not that you can really tell in this lighting or because it's black, but yeah, I really, really like it. Honestly, you guys, if I get through this week, it's gonna be a miracle. Right now I'm working on a huge project. We're planning our brand photo shoot. We don't do them every year, but we do them like once every couple years or so. And we're doing a brand photo shoot and it's happening next week, and all the planning and hiring that goes in for this process is just insane. So hardly had any time to breathe this week, it feels like. But I'm getting through it. It's 3 o'clock. I'm about to start my 4th meeting of the day. Fingers crossed that this goes well, and then I can take a nice little break. Hi, kitty. Good afternoon. It is the end of the workday, and I am now able to get to finishing the white dress project, which I'm so excited about because there's really not that much left to do. I have decided the way I'm going to approach this is rather than like attaching the lining to the self, I'm going to cut out the skirt pieces again, but cut them a little bit shorter, like maybe 2 inches shorter, and then just serge it and let it hang free as the lining and keep them free and separate, rather than trying to like fully attach the skirt self to the lining at the hem, if that makes sense. I'll show you once I get to it. But basically I'm cutting out the skirt pieces for a second time, and I am cutting them shorter. That's what I'm doing. I'm kidding. Oh, you're always so helpful. Finished cutting. I changed tops, by the way, because it's warm in here right now, so I had to take off my long sleeve shirt. Yeah, so I'm in the sewing room right now, working on finishing up this dress. I wonder if I can get it finished tonight. It would be a lot. I have to do the skirt lining, serge that all together. I'd have to insert the zip, sew up the center back seam, and then hem it. Doable. It's a maybe. We'll see. Andrew and I have ordered takeout tonight. We ended up actually finishing the barbacoa beef, except for like a little bit that's only enough for like a small lunch. So I'm gonna have that probably tomorrow for my lunch. And yeah, it was really delicious. So we had to order in tonight. We're doing Thai. We found a place that we really, really love. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head for some reason, but I'll be sure to link it in the description box if you're in Brooklyn and want to try it. But yeah, it was really good. I got a red curry and Andrew gets a pad thai. Finished eating dinner. So now I'm back in the sewing room working on the white dress, and I've gotten as far as I can possibly get on it because I realized I don't have my white zipper yet. I had the foresight to order one on Amazon this morning, knowing that I didn't have it, but I forgot that it had not arrived yet, so I don't have it. So I'm thinking I might start cutting out something else, something in my summer collection project maybe. Went ahead and pre-washed all of the fabrics that I got. Unfortunately, the project that I want to start with, get this open. Unfortunately, the project that I want to start with is the pink shorts based on the Miu Miu shorts. They're so cute. I love them. But when I pre-washed the fabric, it's just, I mean, it is linen. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but really the look that I want for the shorts is something a little more polished looking. So I took to fabric.com to try to find a good twill, tencel twill would be ideal because the tencel will give it like that sheen almost compared to a cotton twill. But I couldn't find any tencel twill in the pink. All I could find was a polyester twill in the pink. So I went ahead and ordered the polyester pink twill. We'll see what it looks like when it gets here. I looked all over the internet. The only like good fiber quality twill that I could find was a silk twill, which would have been amazing, honestly. That would have been perfect, from a brand called Easy Silk, like EZ Silk. But the problem with that is that they have a 3-yard minimum order, and I can get a pair of shorts out of 1 yard, maybe a little bit more than a yard. And so I didn't want to spend that spendy on a fabric because it's like $25 a yard or something like that, which, you know, it's silk, I can understand, but I don't want to pay $75 when I only need $25 worth of fabric. So I didn't get that, even though they had a gazillion colors and it would have been perfect, but I'm gonna go for the polyester twill, seeing especially as this is more of like a trend piece anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens when it gets here, but I don't know what to make in the meantime because that's what I wanted to make next. And that fabric is not going to get here until Monday. It's Thursday right now, so I have a whole weekend ahead of me. I'm thinking maybe I could start on the orange blazer, like the cropped orange blazer. That could be a fun one. Alternatively, I could start on this pattern, McCall's 8030 in view A with the olive green tencel twill. I love this fabric so much. I love this dress so much. I've already ordered buttons for it too, so maybe I'll go with that. Good morning. I'm laying in bed with Mika right now. What is on my face? It is Friday. It's a summer Friday for me, which means that I have the day off today, which is nice. I'm trying to decide still between creamsicle blazer or my olive green shirt dress. I put up a poll on Instagram and it's almost 50-50, so I guess my indecision was warranted because you guys can't decide what I should make either. I don't know what to make, but I think I'm gonna go with the creamsicle blazer because it is such a summery color that I want to be able to get as much wear out of it this summer as possible, whereas the olive green dress is more classic, more season agnostic. Like I can wear it any time of year, really. Not that I couldn't wear the orange blazer any time of year, but this is like the perfect time to wear the orange blazer. So I think I'm gonna cut the orange blazer for that reason. I've also been looking at my inspo and trying to decide if I actually even want to cut it short sleeve or not. I might leave it a long sleeve blazer because then I could get even more wear out of it that way. So that's also on my mind. Before I get going for the day, I'm just gonna pop some makeup on. I think it's just gonna be a light makeup day today. I'm gonna be using the Tatcha Silk sunscreen that I've really been liking, a little bit of the Makeup Forever concealer, L'Oreal Infallible Powder, Benefit Gimme Brow Brow Gel, Lancome Lashy Doll Mascara, and then the Merit Cheek Balm. You know what's funny is they actually contacted me to work with me on their highlighter, which I love, but like I said, I don't wear a ton of highlighter unless I'm going out, and usually only like on my shoulders and stuff. But this cheek balm was such, this cheek balm was such a standout product to me. In fact, I want to go back and see if I can buy it. They sent this to me as a gift for working with them on that video a few videos ago, but I want to go back and see if I can buy more in other shades, because I also love this by Terry CC liquid blush that I bought a long time ago, specifically the color. So I kind of want to see if I can color match this in the Merit Balm, because I love the formula of this, but I love the color of this one right now. So I really want to go see if I can find this one in the other color. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of makeup on and I'll be back with you shortly. Voila, we have the no makeup look for today. Feeling just a little bit fresher. I'm gonna feed these cats because they're meowing their heads off at me right now. Do you guys know about pdfplotting.com? When I print patterns, I'm sorry, but I cannot do the tape together PDFs. It's just such a faff. It takes so much time. I just don't, I feel like my time is so limited as it is that it's just not something I want to spend doing. So I prefer to pay to get them printed with the copy shop file. There's a local copy shop to me that's like really close by. They do really reasonable prints. They'll print like one long copy shop file for usually like $6 or something like that. But pdfplotting.com and that roll is even cheaper. It's like $2 a print or something like that. So if you don't need the pattern immediately, it's a great resource for you. So like I said, they'll print the copy shop file. It arrives in this poster tube, and then all you have to do is cut out your pattern pieces. You don't have to spend your time taping them together. So I would highly recommend that if, like me, you hate taping together PDF patterns. It's just something that slows me down and hinders my crafting in some ways. I'm sure other people really enjoy it. And of course, there's the cost factor to be considered, but you know, for pdfplotting.com, it is a really reasonable price. So I just thought I would share that with you in case you would like to give it a try. I had a lot of patterns printed this time. That's another good thing too, is if you like save up a lot of patterns that you need to have bulk printed, then you can do them all in one go. Now I just need to find the one that I need. I'm looking for the Heather blazer. This color is so good. It's so good. I've sort of decided midway through, after looking at the size chart, to size down because it's an oversized fit blazer, and I think it's kind of generously oversized. So I don't want it to be that oversized. Plus I never button my blazers anyway. It's just, especially not a blazer like this, like a more casual style blazer. So I'm sizing down on it. We'll see how that works out. It should be fine. The finished measurements on the garment leave like plenty of space even with that. I had the perfect amount to do a full length version of the blazer. Like I said, originally I was thinking I was going to do a cropped one because that was what my inspiration had, but I think I want to go for the longer one. I think it will make it more versatile in the end. I am finished cutting out. I have my gorgeous orange linen right here, which comes off on camera looking a lot more bright. It's definitely softer in person. And then for the lining, I went with the Bemberg rayon fabric that I just purchased. It's got like a blush undertone to it, and I think it works perfectly with the orange linen. So I'm going to gather up these materials, head over to the sewing room. It's been such a like lovely leisurely morning of just watching influencers on YouTube. Fun fact, my entry into YouTube was most definitely fashion and beauty influencers on YouTube. Like that was how I really discovered YouTube channels in general. I loved watching fashion and beauty YouTube. I still love watching fashion and beauty YouTube. I didn't even know about knitting and crafting and sewing YouTube. Like I've been doing those things on my own for a while, like sewing especially. Knitting came along later, but I didn't even know about that whole rabbit hole of YouTube until one of my friends started posting videos on YouTube. So that's kind of how I got into like the craft world scene. But my first entry into YouTube was definitely fashion and beauty, and I still love watching all of those kinds of videos because I get so much inspiration for my projects from influencers. And I know that it's like a love it or you hate it kind of thing. I personally really love it. I love luxury fashion. I love watching these videos. And of course it's like wildly out of my price range. And of course we could discuss like, you know, the ethics and the politics behind some of these brands. But at the end of the day, I love getting inspo from them to make my own projects just because I find sewing so fun. So yeah, that's where I get like so much of my inspo. So I've just been having a lovely leisurely morning of watching a bunch of my fashion influencer, beauty influencer YouTube content and watching them do all of their things. This jacket is coming together so quickly. Such a fun color, but look how oversized it is still, even with me sizing down. Like I know it's kind of hard to tell because I'm wearing like shorts and this crop top right now, but you can, I think can still get a sense. Like the arms fit like pretty nicely, but you can see how oversized it still is. So I would definitely recommend sizing down on this pattern unless you want like a really oversized fit. And this pattern has an exceptionally good size range, by the way. I think it goes up to 7X, I want to say. So that's really good. And yeah, so it's coming together. It's really cute. I am wondering, looking at it though, if I do eventually want to crop it after all. I don't know. I can't tell. It is a fun piece though. The other thing that I'm wondering is if I really actually want to line it, because this orange is such a fun color. I do like the Bemberg rayon for linings. I think it'll be like an incredibly soft lining, but I kind of want it to like still show orange on the inside with movement. So I don't know. I can't decide what to do. So fun. Oh my gosh, it's got such a drape to it with this like really lightweight linen. I still haven't put the facing on it yet, so this will have a finished edge once I put that in, but I'm at a stage where I need to kind of like decide if I want to do a lining or not. And also I really want to style it for you guys because I'm sure looking at it like this, you're like, what the heck? That is so ugly, but there's a vision. I'm sure it's gonna look amazing. You just have to trust. You have to trust. Maybe I'm saying that for myself as much as I'm saying it to you. You guys, I love it so much. It's so cute. Sorry, I got my finger in front of the camera lens. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. It's adorable. There's still some finishing touches I need to do. Like I need to finish some sewing up here, attaching this. And I also need to finish the hem, put in my label. But yeah, I love it. I'm not gonna cut it shorter. I think it's so chic. Andrew loves it. He said it's like new wave 80s style. I don't know. I just think it's so hip. I love it. I think it's so fun. Finish the blazer. This came together so quickly. I can't believe I cut and sewed this in a day. I mean, granted, I worked on it all day today, but yeah, I'm shocked. If you're looking for a fun intro to blazers, this is definitely a good one. Again, this is the Heather Blazer by Friday Pattern Company. If you're looking something with more tailoring and more like techniques based, then I would also recommend the Jessica Blazer by, I think, Closet Core? Yep, Closet Core, just looked it up. I've made that one as well. That one's definitely a much more involved pattern. There were over 40 pattern pieces for that blazer, but that one gives you a much more like tailored jacket, whereas this one's a much more like relaxed fitted blazer. But yeah, I did end up going for the lining, as you can see. I'm glad that I did. I feel like it just finishes it off nicely. It makes it a more polished garment. I also remembered to put in my label. So that was good too. But yeah, I really love it. I think it's gonna be such a fun summer addition to my wardrobe. Definitely more trend-led, but you know what? Sometimes we just need that cake sewing. My white invisible zipper arrived. So I have inserted the zip. Here's the dress with the lining in it. I think it's so classic and beautiful. There are a few things that I would change if I make this pattern again. Number one, the waistline is like maybe ½ an inch too high. Like my waist is like right here. So it's kind of an inch too high, but that's okay. It's not a huge deal. I think it's really pretty, really flattering. The only things I have left to do on it now are to kind of finish off the zip up here, like it's inserted, but I need to like finish the top of it. And then I need to bias bind the armholes and then hem it. I've already hemmed the skirt lining, which I just cut slightly shorter than the main, but I think that worked out okay. It is a heavier dress, that's for sure, but I didn't like the idea of having to consider undergarments like a slip or something like that with my outfits. It's just kind of annoying to me. I'd rather just be able to wear it. So I opted to go for the lining after all, instead of doing something like wearing a slip with it. So it'll just make it more usable and more wearable. Overall, I think it turned out really pretty. I'll keep you posted when I finish it. But yeah, not much left to go. I'm gonna hang the dress to let the hem drop overnight. I've had it hanging for a while. It honestly probably should be fine. I do see where I need to even it out right there a little bit. It's kind of hard to do on my own when it's not on my body. It'd probably be something better suited to when Emily comes over next time. She can help me with that. But yeah, 2 makes almost finished in one day. What should I cut next? I do want to make a belt with it though, but I didn't purposefully, I didn't attach it permanently to it because I would love to be able to wear belts of my own with it too, especially like a brown, like small brown leather belt I think would look stellar with this. Some heels or some cute sandals. Yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love. Good morning, happy Saturday from the Arbor Garden. Check out my Jude the Obscure rose. These blooms are just enormous. So gorgeous. Dahlias are popping off. More Crown Princess Margareta blooms, my favorite climber. Woolerton Old Hall. I need to tie these into the arbor before a car hits them. And I need an intense deadheading session apparently. Whenever I start a new project with a big 4 pattern, I never ever look at the measurements on the back of the pattern packet to tell me which size to cut. I always look at the finished garment measurements and make a size determination based on what the finished measurements are. And the reason for that is big 4 patterns will typically place us into a larger, like the final garment ends up larger than we are imagining it will be based on the fit of the model on the pattern tissue. So I just find it easier to look at the finished measurements once the whole pattern is sewn up with the seam allowance of the pattern, and then make a decision about how much positive ease or negative ease I want on a particular pattern depending on my measurements and what I know about my own measurements. With a pattern like this though, it's a little bit trickier because it's a garment designed to have positive ease. So I want it to have positive ease to my body. So for that, I went to my closet and measured out another shift dress, essentially, which is essentially what this is. It's like straight from the bust down to the hips, pretty much. This one's like graded out just slightly, like at a taper, and I went and measured another shift dress that I had in my wardrobe and determined that that one was 41 inches finished, so at the waistline. So I see now that the medium that the medium is 41 inches finished for this dress, so I'm gonna cut the medium for this because that will fit like another dress I have in my wardrobe and know that I love. Pieces are all cut out. If only it was this fast in real life as you see on the video. I barely got out by the skin of my teeth with this one. The pattern did call for 2 1/8 yards, but I did have to cut one piece on the cross grain instead of on the straight grain. So hopefully it will be okay. I didn't have enough fabric really to cut out a tie belt, which is not part of view A anyway. It's not crucial because I feel like I'll want to wear like a leather belt with this potentially, but I would have liked to have a fabric belt with this one. So maybe I can use this again on the cross grain instead of the straight grain and stitch together like a 2-piece belt, and it'll have like a seam in the center. No one will really see that anyway. It won't be that noticeable, so I could probably get away with doing that. Stopping for a little garden break. My Bathsheba rose is blooming. Look how gorgeous it is. And the sweet peas have started blooming. Honestly, I have no clue which variety is which anymore, except for the pink one, because I only had one pink one. Everything else was kind of like a blue periwinkle scheme, but I bought one pink one. So this one is Prince Edward of York. So it's this gorgeous like corally pink color. And I don't know what this one is, but it's gorgeous. This one's like Kupani or something. It's kind of bicolor version. And then over here we have Rose Campion rose, which is a lot more pink in its initial blooms than it looks on the website. On the website it's more of like a soft orange apricot color. Here it is in bud. My Teasing Georgia rose is about to go off. The first cosmos are out. Look how beautiful these are. Oh, so stunning. And these little edging plants, they're just so happy. This one, I forget what the name of that one is, but that one and this blue woodruff, this has just been flowering nonstop. Such a good one. Back in the sewing room. About to get started on McCall's 8030 that I cut out earlier. I'm excited. Gotten so much done on this project. It's been such an enjoyable sew. I've already finished the collar. Really all I have left are the sleeve bands and the buttons and buttonholes and then the hemming, and then it's going to be finished. But I am taking a little break because we ordered some takeout. Before we go out to eat, I just had to show you guys the 2 finished pieces. I feel like I'm always showing you guys things like right as they are completed in the worst lighting at night whenever I happen to finish it. And I want to like celebrate these makes more. The other day I was watching some Instagram stories from this influencer that I like to follow, and she was showing behind the scenes at this repair shop at an Hermes store, an Hermes repair shop. If you haven't heard of Hermes, it's a very luxury, like extremely luxury handbag designer and maker. And as I was watching these stories at this repair shop, I was just thinking to myself, like, you know, when it comes to a bag is just a bag, you know, like it is still made by a person. Every single item of clothing in the world is made by a person at a machine or using their tools. And it's something I think that needs to be celebrated more when we finish like a project or finish an FO. So often I'm very quick to just like move on to the next, which I still am not going to change. Like you know, we're all crafters here, a lot of us are, and we love to make things. But I want to like treat it more as it's exciting, because of just watching those stories, I was like, you know, I could learn how to make bags, and now I really want to learn how to make bags. But you know, you can learn your trade and improve your skills over time. I know I have grown leaps and bounds since I first started making clothing. It's a night and day, you know, difference into the skills that I have now versus when I first started making clothes, like what, 6 or 7 years ago tops? I mean, maybe a little bit longer than that. I've known how to sew since I was single digits age. My grandmother taught me how to make quilts, and we made like a few really basic clothing patterns together, but I wasn't sewing clothing with a force until after I moved to New York. And that was, you know, I think I'm coming up on either my 10 or my 11-year anniversary now, I can't remember. Anyway, so I want to just like show you these new pieces because they're special, and I don't want to show you them in like horrible nighttime lighting, even though I will, because I love showing you things in progress and as I'm working on them, and yeah, just showing you the process and behind the scenes. But now I want to show you it in its full glory. And excuse the wrinkliness of the sleeves because I've already like pushed them up a lot, but this is the first piece that I finished. This is a Friday Pattern Company, the Heather blazer. It was such a fun project to make. I used a 5-ounce orange linen. By the way, I'll leave any links in the description box for you if you want to shop for the materials or the pattern. But yeah, it's made with a 5-ounce European linen, 100% linen, and the interior is this like taupe, kind of shell pink almost in a way. It looks more pink with the orange, but when I bought it, it was like nude color or something like that. But it's a Bemberg rayon, which is such a good substitute for silk, I think, for like linings. It's more affordable at least, and it's also just got like nice breathability. It's really soft. Yeah, so I really like using Bemberg rayon for linings, and it makes like a nice silky texture on the inside to get it on over clothing, which is nice. I love like the relaxed style of the blazer. It's like a long line blazer. It's more casual than a more tailored blazer, like say the Jessica blazer by Closet Core, which I've also made, and I really love that pattern too, but this is just more of a relaxed casual look. It came together so quickly. I could not believe it. I cut and sewed all of it in the same day. Granted, I spent the entire day on it. Like I probably started cutting it out around, I don't know, 9:30 or 10 a.m. and then finished it around 6, like 5:30 or 6 p.m. On Friday. And yeah, so it did definitely take all day. I think it turned out exactly as I would have hoped for, and even though my inspiration did show like a cropped and short sleeve version, I went ahead and decided to keep it long because I think I'll get more wear out of it this way than I will if I make it a cropped and short sleeve blazer. I will say it is a bit challenging to pair this with items in my wardrobe. The color is just so different from anything else I own. I have a lot of like neutral colors, blacks, olives, navies, and I think that this really looks best with like whites and pastels. I was wearing a blue pastel top with it when I was sewing it, and it just looked amazing with it. So I think it's gonna look great if I start pairing it with just lighter colors, which I don't have a ton of light colored garments in my wardrobe, even though I am more attracted to those right now. So hopefully I'll be having more of those in my upcoming makes queue in the near future. But yeah, so right now it is a little challenging to pair with items in my wardrobe, but I still really, really love it. And like I said, it will not be the last time I make this pattern. I definitely want to add like a closure button to it and sew a button, like do a buttonhole and a button closure on it right here. I have the perfect button for it. It's this like leather shank button that I got, I think, from my grandmother's stash of buttons. I just try to use hers whenever I possibly can. Yeah, and it's got my label in it right here. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's magical. It's just like such a special piece. And I know the color is probably not going to be to everyone's taste, but hopefully you can still get a sense of just like the blazer itself and what a great pattern it is. I did ultimately decide to line it. I was on the fence about it at first because I wanted to see more of the orange color in the pop out, but like pop out meaning if it like kind of flew open a little bit or as I walk. But ultimately I decided to go ahead and line it because I think it made the piece look a little more elevated, a little more finished, because otherwise you would have seen the serging on the inside, which is not the end of the world, but I do think it makes the piece a little more polished than if I didn't line it. So this is the Heather Blazer Friday Pattern Company. This gorgeous linen. I love this linen. I've already used it with a dress of a previous make that I really like. So it is definitely a linen I will return to. It's nice and lightweight without being too like see-through. All right, and then why make one object when you can have two finished objects? I was polling everybody on Instagram because I couldn't decide what to make, and so I ended up having time to make both. This is McCall's 8030. It was a fantastic pattern, a fantastic sew. If you've not sewn any clothes at all, this would be such a great pattern for you to start with. Maybe don't start with the collar version, but the ones without the collar, like B and C, would be much easier for a beginner. But I loved making this. I used a tencel twill in this olive green color. I used this fabric in a different project recently that was a fail of a project. I honestly just ended up throwing it away. But I love the color of the fabric, and I love this fabric so much, the drape of it. Yes, excuse me. But yeah, I loved the fabric so much. I just love the color, I love the drape. It's got like a nice structure to it without being too heavy. It would make a great bottom weights fabric. So if you're looking for something to make pants or shorts with, a jumpsuit, these like drapey top, really it's good for anything. I really love tencel twill. It's got this nice like slight sheen to it from the tencel, but it's so breathable and comfortable for summer. Yeah, it's everything. It is everything. And so I made this gorgeous shirt dress out of it. I love the buttons that I got for it too. They're like these horn style buttons, like tortoise style buttons. I got those from Wawak. This was my second time sewing a collar. I think the instructions for the collar on the Heather Blazer were a little bit clearer, and it was probably a little better drafted, if I'm being honest, than the McCall's pattern was, but this was a quick and easy sew. The only problem is that because I didn't really understand, it was my first like button up, whereas like the Heather Blazer doesn't button up to the top. I kind of I just didn't sew this in such a way that where I can put a button at the very top, because this overlaps too much. I just needed to sew it or ease it in differently to the neckline than how I did, but I have that knowledge now for next time. Oh my gosh, Jafar is determined. I have that knowledge now for next time though, and yeah, I really love it. I posted a photo on my Instagram the other day of me in my new Anna Allen test pattern jeans, and I was wearing this mustard top, and so many people messaged me about, they're like, oh my gosh, please tell me you made that top, what's the pattern? Unfortunately, I did not, but I kept recommending this as like a perfect dupe for it, and so now I really want to make this as a top also. I think that, wouldn't that be so cute? Can you just imagine like if it were shorter? Like, wouldn't that be such a great top? I love it. So now I want to make this again to have a top. It's got this gathered yoke detail in the front and also this gathered back yoke detail. It's got the grown on dolman sleeves, so no sleeves to inset. And yeah, not too many pieces, not difficult. I like this kind of curved hem, although I didn't do a very good job hemming it, although I tried, like, I was meticulously pressing it and stitched along the bottom to like ease it in for, it just didn't go very well, as you can see. But it looks fine when it's on, you can't really tell. But this is one of my favorite items that I've made in a really long time. I think it is so, so chic. I just feel like it fits perfectly with my style right now, fits perfectly in my wardrobe. There's so many ways I can imagine styling this up with a blazer, maybe not that one because the color doesn't really go, but I have like an oatmeal color blazer that I got from H&M not too long ago that would look amazing with this. In the fall and winter, it would be great with like tights and boots. I just think there's so much potential with this pattern. Originally, I wanted to make it in a stripe, but then when I saw all of the projects, I looked at the hashtag on Instagram. That's one way I get a lot of inspiration kind of for fabric pairings, is to see like how it looks with certain fabrics. And I thought I was going to make it with the stripe, but every option that I saw that had like a solid color like this, I just liked so much more than the striped versions of it. So I decided to do the solid as well in this olive green color. Yeah, it's perfect. I think I'm going to put this on for our date tonight at the Oaxacan restaurant. So those are the two new pieces. As you saw in my last video, I also finished my jeans, but I just haven't cut them to the proper hem yet. I do want to do a cropped jean length on them and like a raw edge hem. So I'm just going to cut it and then fringe it up a bit, and that will be finished. I'm also almost finished with my white dress, but I need somebody to come over and like cut the hem for me. So it's gonna have to wait until I come back from being out of town, and hopefully Emily can maybe help me with cutting the hem even, because it's like a little bit uneven. And Andrew's like, I'm like, will you cut this for me? And he was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I don't blame him though, you know, after putting he sees me putting all this work into my projects, and the last thing he wants to do is like accidentally do something that I don't want and then it be like ruined in some capacity. So yeah, no, it's fine, I understand, but I also trust that he would be fine with doing what I need. Anyway, but yeah, those are the two new pieces, the Heather blazer and then McCall's 8030, yes. And this olive green tencel twill and this creamsicle, as I'm calling it, orange linen. We're here. Sleepy?
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
It's called Cafe Azul. They have an amazing looking cocktail menu. We'll report back. Andrew got the enchiladas, and I actually don't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
It looks delicious though. Okay, speak up.
Up. Okay, so that was funny to me. I do comedy bits in real life.
So, all right, our thoughts about
the restaurant.
Blue Azul. Is that what it was?
Sure.
Azul Blue? I don't remember.
Azul means blue, so I don't think they would name the restaurant
Blue. Was it Cafe Azul? I don't know, maybe. Something Azul. Okay.
Azul was in the name.
Yeah.
So, okay, be careful when you order a drink. If you don't like a Negroni, do not order a Negroni by other names. Yeah. Because you will not enjoy it.
But, okay, in fairness, you ordered a Negroni at a Mexican restaurant.
Yes, and it was better than a normal Negroni because you know, there was mezcal involved, but
okay, but overall
their other cocktail was amazing.
Yes, their cocktail game was exceptional.
Yes,
it was very good.
Negronis.
If you like a Negroni though, you will like the Negroni. But it was very good cocktails. The food was under-seasoned, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
But I would still go back for their cocktails. Rating out of 10.
For the restaurant? Cocktail game? I'd say their cocktail game was like a 9. I'd say the food, like a 7.
Yeah, it was not bad. It just wasn't like...
I wasn't in love with it.
Yes. And it was also pricey.
But I have to give them some credit because I got enchiladas with negro mole, and those are like very long like
process yeah, to make
cook.
mole.
And so like even having a decent one on your menu is a difficult thing for a restaurant to have. But that being said, the Oaxaca cookbook that we got, much better.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, if you guys want to try Oaxacan food, I keep cropping you out on accident because you're taller than me. If you guys like Oaxacan food, get the Oaxaca cookbook that we have. Everything we've made from it before has been exceptionally delicious. I'll leave it linked in the description box for you. But yeah, we've made, I don't know, like 4 things from it so far, so not that many.
Well, we made the
oregano chicken and chipotle helado,
which that recipe is
so
fantastic.
Good. Black mole.
We made the enchiladas with the black mole, and we made the moletas.
Yes, so we made 5 recipes from it, and so every single thing from it has been so good. Yeah. So I'm linking one of our favorite cookbooks in the description box. You have to get it.